chunky-style pizza from Pizza Hut.
7 in the center of it all.
Now on Night Watch, startling bruises indicate abuse for a Carolina grandmother. Some deadly dishes on one restaurant menu. And the king up high in the sky. This is Eyewitness News Night Watch.
Good evening. A Carolina grandmother attacked in her nursing home bed.
She is 90 years old and shows clear signs of being choked. It's a disturbing story. The family came to us and they wanted us to tell you the story, but we warn you the pictures are disturbing.
No, she can't defend herself at all. Her hands are drawn and she can't talk. She can't walk good.
She appears to be just exhausted. Like she's been through more than she can stand.
Family members say Tula Dobbins was attacked last night. They took pictures of the injuries this morning and showed them to us outside the Peachtree Center in Gaffney. The Cherokee County Sheriff's Department is investigating. Family members, meantime, want her attacker caught.
If it can stop other people from being abused and catch the one that did this and prosecute them, then that's what I want.
And we're very disturbed by this. We're taking every measure that we know to not only address this problem, but to make sure that it doesn't happen in the future.
The nursing home administrators notified 3 investigating agencies, about the attack, and he describes the investigation as intensive at this point. In other news tonight, an off-duty police officer investigates a shooting tonight in Greenville. A suspect shot during a struggle by an officer working as a security guard and carted off handcuffed on a stretcher to the hospital. Gunshots were heard at about 9:30, we're told, at the Save Lodge where Mills Avenue and Augusta Road meet. We're told the officer was slightly injured during the struggle, but he was not shot. You can expect to hear more on this story tomorrow on Eyewitness News.
An afternoon bicycle ride turned deadly in Spartanburg County. The coroner's office says 74-year-old Guy Snow of Greer was killed when the bicycle he was riding veered into the path of a truck. It happened on Reedville Road in the Reedville community. Witnesses say Snow apparently lost control of the bike and the truck driver could not avoid the accident. Investigators are ruling the death accidental. Kids will be kids, but authorities in New Jersey have no sympathy for youngsters who went on a destructive rampage at a car dealership. 4 boys, a 10-year-old and 3 who were age 11, damaged or virtually destroyed over 50 cars in a sort of demolition derby. They were caught in the act in a minivan.
Like I say, 23 years, 24 years in the business, I've never seen anything like this happen. Never at all. It's just a matter of somebody just wanting to, take a ride in cars and do some type of damage.
The damages total nearly $200,000. A juvenile judge will decide what to do with the boys.
More news about juveniles in trouble. 2 North Carolina juveniles are in custody tonight. They're charged with deliberately setting the fire that destroyed Waynesville Middle School earlier this week. The blaze ripped through the entire school building Tuesday, forcing more than 900 students to evacuate. The 2 juveniles were picked up last night. They are both under the age of 16 and are in custody tonight, pending a hearing next week. Emotions ran high during day 4 of the wrongful death trial stemming from a Clemson student's death. 20-year-old Shannon Gill fell as she walked on a narrow 3rd-floor ledge of a fraternity house back in 1989. Her parents are suing the fraternity and 2 bars for damages. Testimony was emotional today.
Now she's dead 4 years later, and he still doesn't know the story about what happened to his daughter.
Shannon's parents are hoping the jury will find the fraternity and the owners of the bar responsible for their daughter's death. The trial continues tomorrow. It could go to the jury as early as Friday afternoon.
Go to a drive-through restaurant and buy a gun? It happened at a fast food place in New York. Police say the restaurant owner has been charged with dealing guns. Agents seized more than 60 guns, a rifle, and almost 500 rounds of ammunition. Police described the restaurant's menu as a catalog of high-tech weapons. A tip led authorities to the operation. One undercover officer bought a gun at the drive-through window.
Time for first weather now. We all knew it would get colder again at some point, and here it is, Jack.
Well, it is November, and I wish we had some clouds to even show you on satellite. Not a whole lot going on out there, as a matter of fact. Some clouds in western North Carolina primarily, some thin clouds elsewhere, and it looks rainless for the next several days, and we're going to get on down in the bargain basement with the temperatures. Here's a look at your forecast tonight. 38 to 42, partly cloudy in the morning. about the same, but we anticipate some really cooler temperatures as we get especially into Saturday night and Sunday. We'll come back and tell you lots more in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Jack. We'll see you later. More news, a big headache to tell you about tonight. Vacations delayed, appointments missed. People flying American Airlines had a very tough day.
That's because the airline's flight attendants have gone on strike.
Contract, we want it now. We want a contract, we want it now.
The walkout began at 7 this morning at Raleigh-Durham and other airports over wages and other contract issues. Thousands of passengers had to wait for later flights or use another airline. It's estimated half of Americans' flights were affected.
We have shut New Orleans down completely. Chicago, although they say they're going on time, the planes are all empty. And the same thing here with Raleigh. The planes are going out, but there's nothing in them except cargo and pilots.
Now, if you're planning to fly American, it's recommended you call the airline first and see if your flight is still scheduled. But the airline could be grounded if pilots vote to join the strike. The national labor outlook is getting better, but there are signs for trouble for South Carolina. The U.S. Labor Department says the number of newly laid-off workers filing claims for unemployment benefits fell by 20,000 last week, the biggest drop in nearly 4 months. But the most recent state figures are for the week ending November 6th, and South Carolina had an increase in jobless claims, one of the highest in the country.
On to NAFTA now. The debate turns to the Senate with a final vote set for tomorrow. Here in the Carolinas, business owners are still trying to figure out just how NAFTA is going to affect them. Tonight, Night Watch reporter Glenn Austin has their story.
There are over 74,000 small business owners in South Carolina, all of them waiting to find out how NAFTA will affect them.
The scary part is we really don't know. And I don't think anybody is actually intelligent enough to know the full effect of NAFTA, whether it's going to help or hurt either small or large business.
Ross Perot's United We Stand coalition in Greenville believes they may know. They say that small business owners across the Carolinas and America will all suffer.
One of the things that I do know will result from this NAFTA passage is that there will be a downward pressure on incomes in this country.
However, no one is sure how much of an impact small business owners will face as NAFTA begins to take effect. Meanwhile, South Carolina's Secretary of State Jim Miles is offering a special book prepared by the state that will give small business owners advice on how to handle NAFTA.
We have, as a state, helped our companies get in a position to take advantage of NAFTA and also to minimize the impact of NAFTA.
If passed in the Senate, the economic fallout from NAFTA will begin, and so will the questions from every business owner in the Carolinas. In Greenville, Glenn Austin, TV7 Eyewitness News, Night Watch.
And as everyone tries to figure things out, if you think a copy of the Economic Development Incentives Handbook could help you, you can write for a copy. Contact the Secretary of State's office at P.O. Box 11350, Columbia, South Carolina. The zip code there is 29211.
This is the day of the Great American Smokeout, the annual event where smokers try to kick the habit for at least one day. Smoking was an issue at tonight's school board meeting in Spartanburg County District 3. It seems that employees who work in the administration building, smokers and non-smokers, have all shared the same lounge. Some non-smokers complained. The solution? Separate lounges for employees who smoke and those who don't.
Consider this. In 1 year, more than 1,000 children were the victims of physical, sexual, or mental abuse and neglect in Anderson County. That is part of the problem that brought 200 community leaders together in Anderson tonight. They're trying to learn more about the status of children. It was an evening of alarming statistics with plans to come up with solutions for the future.
Tonight what we'll do is really look at the broad spectrum of problems that children in our state and in Anderson County face. We'll look at child abuse and neglect. We'll look at preschool readiness, at educational problems, at the dropout rate. After we address all these problems, we will then solicit information from the people who come tonight to see what needs to be done next, because we feel very strongly that the solutions to these problems lie not at the state level but from the local level. So
the Alliance for South Carolina's Children is the organization spreading the word. Anderson is the second community in the state to address the issues facing children. Greenville was first. Oconee County is next.
Your arithmetic homework had better be ready if you go to Greenville this week. Nearly 2,000 math teachers are at this week's conference of the State Council of Teachers of Mathematics. The annual gathering has workshops that help teachers keep their skills up to date.
This is a time when math teachers come together and are able to share these ideas and pass a great deal of information. They're learning about new techniques, they're learning about materials, the cutting edge.
The latest technology is featured at the conference, everything from state-of-the-art computers to this original creation by a Greer teacher. It's designed to get students interested in curves.
Neat.
Well, still to come, Somali warlord Aidid comes out of hiding. We'll tell you why.
Also coming up, Operation Santa gearing up to bring smiles to the children of Bosnia. We'll explain as the news continues.
The high cost of health care, everyone has a part in keeping it down. So we took what you like about Walmart and what you want in a pharmacy and put it right inside your Walmart store. The result?
Walmart's pharmacy department.
With professional service and the low price on every prescription.
So next time, bring it here.
Or ask your doctor to call.
Walmart's pharmacy department, your full-service pharmacy, right inside Walmart. Always the low price, always.
It's the 1994 Pontiac New Car Showing, featuring better value than any other car line in the world. The 1994 Pontiac Grand Am, with anti-lock brakes and driver's side airbag, it offers the sporty looks, handling, and safety of high-priced imports for thousands less. Now just $199 a month, $199 a month. And don't miss the world's best of show, the totally redesigned 94 Pontiac Firebird. World-class engineering and performance at an affordable price. Pontiac's 94 New Car Showing happening now at your Carolina Pontiac dealers. Don't miss it.
Hi, I'm Regis Philp.
And I'm Kathy Lee Gifford, and we are on our way to Chicago.
Stormy, brawling, husky city of the
Sounds
big
like
shoulders.
Frank Gifford.
Hog butcher to the world.
And home to the University of Illinois Marching
Yes,
Band.
we're expecting a visit from Radio Hall of Famer Paul Harvey.
Good day.
Good day. Hello, Americans.
And country star Joe Diffie.
Paul Harvey.
And our grand prize winner in that Spears contest.
Hello, Americans. Paul Harvey.
Tomorrow at 9 on TV 7. Tonight on Late Show with David Letterman, Charles Kuralt, and Bob Dylan.
I'm Dave. I want to be your best friend.
Our worldview takes us to England, where there's been a deadly van crash.
11 people are dead, most of them school children. The accident happened just after midnight last night. A minibus crashed and burst into flames on a road in central England. Police say the vehicle apparently lost control and collided with a stationary maintenance device. Rescue workers had to sift through wreckage to get to the bodies. One victim had been thrown from the vehicle.
Queen Elizabeth opens Parliament with a call to limit rights and fight crime. In front of the Parliament, she called for the right of the accused to silence to be abolished. It's been a long time right in the British justice system. The pomp and circumstance of the opening legislative day provided a ceremonial backdrop to her revolutionary call for change.
Somali warlord Mohammed Aidid appeared in public today for the first time since June. This after the United Nations announced it was no longer hunting Aidid for the murders of several dozen UN peacekeepers. Aidid arrived in a motorcade, guarded by militiamen, armed with rifles and grenade launchers.
Bosnia's children of war will be getting a little more than 30 tons of toys, food, and clothing just in time for Christmas. They can thank the United States Air Force and some German school children for all of the goods. They're the forces behind Operation Santa. The German children delivered goods collected at 30 area schools to a U.S. air base today. It's an effort that is sponsored by the United Nations. And it is the children in Northern Ireland that are the focus of a special series on Eyewitness News at 6. Once you see the countryside of Northern Ireland, you start to understand why the Irish want to end the conflict in their homeland. From the glens to the coastline, the landscape is absolutely breathtaking. Tomorrow night at 6, Pamela Graham ends her special report, Beyond the Hate, Northern Ireland's Next Generation, by showing us why most of the Irish agree this is a senseless war. We meet a native of Northern Ireland who now calls Greenville home. Ian McLaren gives us a better understanding of the problems in the country, and he tells us why the children there may be the answer to bringing peace to Northern Ireland. Looks like we may get some fall weather here in the USA, right here in the Carolinas, and Jack is next with the story.
And Pete will have more on the big football game, plus some college basketball as both the Tigers and Gamecocks hit the court.
If you're looking for an alternative to expensive cable bills, look into the possibilities of satellite TV. With a new antenna from Four Seasons Brevard TV and Satellite, you can receive up to 150 channels free, plus better packages for your favorite premium channels. and 100 music channels with digital CD quality at no additional cost. Four Seasons Brevard TV and Satellite has antennas available from $29.95 a month. Select a system that can give you over 200 channels with rates at or below cable. Select a new antenna from Four Seasons Brevard TV and Satellite in Brevard.
On the next American Journal.
The difference between this and Tailhook is that the public didn't know about this.
Until now, and American Journal investigates whether these U.S. servicemen are breaking the law with underage girls.
Bianca's still jailbait. She's 16 years old.
This X-rated video may be the weapon against sexual misconduct in the military. I'm Nancy Glass. That's just one of the stories worth watching on the next American Journal.
Tomorrow at 5:30 on TV 7. Monday at 6 on Eyewitness News.
Divorces get nasty, usually, because the marriage was nasty.
These days, it's not easy to keep a marriage going strong. Are you in a healthy relationship, or will your marriage end as a statistic? Times have changed, and the numbers are staggering.
We were divorced because we both, I think, stopped trying.
I'm Tracy Martin. Join me for Broken Vows, an Eyewitness News Extra, starting Monday at 6, right here on TV 7.
Every mother is special, but what does it take to be chosen Mother of the Year?
My mother has been there every single day in my life.
The Les Brown Show picked 4 candidates out of the hundreds of letters we received from families telling us why their mother is special.
She never stopped believing in us, even when we no longer believed in ourselves.
Now it's time to make a difficult decision. Who will be the Mother of the Year? Find out on the next Les Brown Show.
Tomorrow at 10 on TV 7.
Well, it's starting to feel like November again instead of April.
Sure is.
And it is time. You know, what, 40 days before Christmas or something?
And a week or so before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
golly,
a week from
man.
today.
That's right.
It really is beginning to feel nice out there, and the leaves are beginning to fall, and get those things raked up, okay? And put them in your neighbor's yard before he sees you doing that. Let's take a look at our current stats out there, and 47 now, GSP, and the high today, 64, cooling off rapidly, and the way it should this time of year. 83% humidity, barometer 3012. Let's go to Anderson. Anderson 48, a high of 65 today, northeasterly winds, 83% humidity, and of course Asheville checking in right now at 46, a high of 58, humidity 86%, barometer 3014, and southerly air in Asheville. Front came through on the coast. That's the only place we're going to see some rain. Let's see if we can see anything pop up a little bit in southern Georgia right now. That front's right through areas of Florida. In fact, look at the swell of thunderstorms out in the Atlantic tonight. Inland, temperature-wise, 47 Knoxville, 51 Atlanta, 52 Augusta, 57 Columbia, 60 Myrtle Beach, 50 Raleigh-Durham, bingo, back to Charleston at 64 degrees. We've had some upper-level clouds mainly drift through the area, and more of which are up in western North Carolina tonight. This is all rainless. We will have partly cloudy to partly sunny conditions tomorrow. And on the northwest side is another front that's beginning to line up right about here, and that's going to come on through tomorrow night more than likely into Saturday morning and give us a real chiller of a weekend. And up behind that next front, there is indeed some snow and gusty winds right through the Rockies today, lots of it. You go down to Florida, where the front hasn't hit everybody. It's in like mid-80s, mid to upper 80s in areas of Florida. There's that cool Canadian air, and we're going to be tasting that real soon. There's the leading edge of the front. High pressure, of course, keeping this system away right now and having pushed this one into almost central Florida. It'll be in charge of our weather again tomorrow, but that front is not far behind. By tomorrow night, it should be knocking on the door and coming on through for Saturday. And a big ridge of high pressure all up and down the Atlantic seaboard will really, drop those temperatures, even daytime temperatures, plus some of us getting down into the 20s and low 30s from Asheville through the upstate. Highs tomorrow, about 60 to 65, and our lows tonight about upper 30s into the low 40s. Officially, this is what it looks like. Partly cloudy, 38 to 42 degrees. Tomorrow, coming on in with partly cloudy conditions, a bit breezy ahead of the front, 60 to 66. The wind's out of the southwest, so we warm up briefly tomorrow, just a wee bit, and then mostly clear Friday night, 33, 38. Here's Saturday. Yeah, Amy's over here like she's shivering. Look at this, Amy. If you think you're cold with those temps, look, mostly sunny Saturday, high of only 55, mid-30s Saturday night in the upstate. 53 and cooler on Sunday, a low of 32. To the mountains we go. Saturday, mostly sunny. Upper 40s, down around 30. Saturday night and Sunday, 46 for a high, and down in the 20s for the mountains, and similar, of course, days ahead right through first of next week. So you will feel the difference, and I know the merchants are happy.
Yeah, after that,
I know the merchants are happy.
After our blast of summer, I'm ready to shiver again.
Well, I mean, if you had an inventory full of those winter coats and, boots and sock caps, how would you get rid of them when it's 76 degrees outside?
The time has come.
It is.
Shop away.
Yep.
Thanks, Jack. Well, sports is next. Pete has some thoughts from the Gamecocks' Sparky Woods. He's been in the upstate tonight.
Also coming up later on, we have the highlights from the spectacular Royal Lippens Honor Stallion show. Stay with us for that.
Spellbound perfume from Estee Lauder. Now choose any Estee Lauder fragrance and receive this 33-piece collection, including an interchangeable compact disc eyeshadow case. The coloring box, worth $150, is yours for $32.50. Estee Lauder's special holiday offer is yours at Riches.
It has been said that it's what's inside that counts. Posterizer. The only blender you can buy with all-metal drive. Poster. Simply better. Inside and out.
It's the #1 selling truck in the world, and it just keeps getting better. The '94 Ford F-150. And during Ford Truck Month, you can drive this loaded F-150 for just $229 a month. And it comes with a standard driver's side airbag. Plus, every '94 F-Series comes with preferred care with 24-hour roadside assistance. See your Carolina Ford dealer today. The Truck Authority.
Bad to the bone. Bad.
A Catholic child can't be friends with a Protestant child. They have no way of gaining friendships.
Some Carolinians are dedicated to turning hate into understanding so that peace can take hold in Northern Ireland.
Join us for a special series of reports as we take a look at a program involving Irish children and families from South Carolina.
Join Pamela Graham for Beyond the Hate, Northern Ireland's Next Generation, all this week at 6 on 7 Eyewitness News. For scores and highlights from the world of sports, dial Real Talk, then 1705.
The man who designs the touchdowns for Carolina here in the upstate tonight.
That's right. Well, he hopes they're touchdowns.
Yeah, he hopes.
Sure. 2 days before the big game, and Sparky Woods gets on a plane and comes up to the upstate.
Thank you.
Nice guy. he owed the Greenville Touchdown Club one. He had meant to speak there earlier this year, did not show, so tonight is his payback, and he comes on up and visits with the club members, talking about, of course, the game coming up and how things have gone for his Cox so far this year. And now, a lot of folks just wondering, can they get out of the gate quickly? Can South Carolina do that against Clemson? And how much in a game like this does momentum really matter? Do you need to establish it first, or can you sit back and, well, wait for it to be created? That's what we asked him tonight after he was done addressing the audience.
Together and get it back. I think it's important to be a momentum changer, not a person who's changed by momentum. And so we're going to try to do things to swing momentum, but it's usually determined by somebody knocking a ball loose or making a big play or breaking a tackle or something.
And Sparky said that while he will be evaluated after the season by the athletic director Mike McGee, he plans on evaluating his offensive and defensive coordinators and assistant coaches. That's a usual procedure for him, and he will be going through his program with a fine-tooth comb once Saturday's game is complete. Also, what's likely the first of many postseason awards for Tiger offensive lineman Stacy Seegers. Today, he's named a first-team All-America by the Football News. Now, meantime, Furman officially announcing today that it's going to meet South Carolina State in a home-and-home series beginning next year and going through 1995. And the Paladins also making a special presentation to their outgoing president today. Dr. John Johns has given a game ball, and it indicates all the success the Paladins have had at Paladin Stadium. since it was opened back in 1980. He, of course, has been guiding the university since then, and even before that, and a nice tribute by the football team to the university president. When we come back, we hit the basketball court. Both the Tigers and Gamecocks in game action for the first time this year. We'll show it to you just ahead.
Over 5 years, the cost of owning this luxury sedan is 28% more than the Acura Legend. This one, 30%. This one, 37%. That's why these cars are so heavily insulated against sound, so we can't hear their owner's screams. The Acura Legend. In the long run, some things are worth the price.
Handcrafted quilts for your home. From Belk, skilled craftsmanship combined with the season's lowest prices. Only $59.99, your choice from twin to king size. The winter home accent sale and values, now at Belk. Baby, it's cold outside, so throw something on to keep warm while Belk has cozy luxury on sale. Comfortable throws from $24.99 during the winter home accent sale, now at Belk.
While it might not count on their record, many were anxious to see just what Eddie Fogler's version of Gamecock basketball looks like in action tonight at the Coliseum in Columbia. Fogler's team taking on the Slovakians. You geography buffs know that used to be part of Czechoslovakia. Anyway, here's Emmett Hall, one of the few returnees with any experience. Hits the jumper from the outside. They would struggle in the first half, go back and forth, tied at 43. Then in the second half, Jamie Watson takes over, and USC pulls away to a victory. That time, Watson found Peter Van Elswick, one of the newcomers. Gamecocks by 10, and Fogler says the second half was better.
The second half, and they're able to hear my voice chirping at them in the second half. It's hard to hear it chirping in the first half.
That's right, South Carolina victorious by 10 tonight. And as we said, Watson, who's going to be one of the leaders in this team, really looking good down the stretch. Now, Clemson taking on the Varish Reps, which is not a bunch of guys who get together after work and go play basketball. They're actually a team that travels around. The game didn't start till 50 minutes after it was supposed to because the opponent's bus was late. You saw Wayne Buckingham getting 2 of his 16 points. He also pulled down 16. Later on, Merle Code with the dish to Corey Wallace, who finishes with 17. Code, the point guard out of Southside High, was on his game tonight, as were the Tigers. They move on to an 87-73 triumph with guys like Devin Gray and Sharon Wright and Andre Rovain sitting things out. And in the preseason NIT tonight, Georgia, Hugh Durham, this could be a proving ground season for him. He may be on the hot seat a bit in Athens. Well, his ball club opens up its season against Alabama State. Shannon Anderson going to be one of the big forces probably in the whole SEC this year. 22 points for Anderson, and the Dogs have no trouble at all with Alabama State. 89-67 is the final. Now, elsewhere tonight, 3 other games in the NIT, and what a shocker in New York. Towson State, the Tigers, beat St. John's by a point. They're in the second half. Number 10, Minnesota on top of Rice, and not a whole lot of problems for number 22, UMass. They're able to hold off Cleveland State 68-60. In the NBA tonight, the Rockets trying to stay unbeaten on the season. Now, that is not an American airline flight attendant moonlighting, folks. They're not that desperate. But the Rockets, though, certainly made the home team desperate tonight. Here's Hakeem Olajuwon going backdoor, and Houston on its way to a 99-83 victory. Houston and Seattle, the only unbeatens in the NBA. Off the court news, Charles Barkley has been accused of punching some guy in a bar in the Phoenix area. There will be a police investigation. And Jack McDowell, the Cy Young Award winner from the Chicago White Sox, was knocked out when he got into a scuffle last night in New Orleans. He was not arrested. Finally, tonight, we didn't get to do it at 6, so we have a Night Watch version of Replay Thursday for you. Some of the wacky, wild, and fun from the past week. And this gentleman showing his gratitude to our good friend Jack Roper for providing such nice weather during the past weekend. And in the NFL, they're supposed to pay these guys. But the Bengals are having a bad season, and we see why. And maybe the check didn't come in for the Colts, and even the celebration wasn't very good. One of those weeks in sport, to say the least.
Great. Thank you for sharing that with us on Night Watch.
Yes. Least I could do for
All right. Thanks, Pete.
When we come back, we're going to tell you about some people on a quest to outsmart old Nessie.
And is it a bird, a plane? No, it's the flying Elvises. You'll see them when Night Watch continues.
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to Bakersville?
Sure. Take 23 north to M34 east to I-14 south, and you're there.
Thanks.
You bet.
Can you tell me how to get to Bakersville?
Head right over those mountains.
Thanks.
See your Carolina Jeep and Eagle dealer.
This is my mom. We go to Community Cash because they have all our favorite brands. Mom says nothing's too good for her family, so why can't I get what I want? This is my dad. He hates to shop and goes only when Mom makes him. He takes me because I know where everything is. I like shopping with Dad.
Shop Community Cash for Thanksgiving with basted Carolina turkeys, just 36 cents per pound. And half-gallon Mayfield ice cream or frozen yogurt, only $1.99.
Community Cash, where my family shops.
Only one company, one carpet company had the purchasing power, the buying clout to put together a sale this big, this incredible. New York Carpet World. 10 major mills, $10 million of premium carpet. We bought it all at year-end sell-off prices. Pennies on the dollar. The best, the top of the line. Every texture, every color included in this mammoth purchase. There's more. Get labor on sale. Padding free, credit free with no payments till May. Hurry, $10 million carpet buyout sale and Saturday at New York Carpet World.
November may be truck month at Fairway Ford, but every Ford car on our lot is bad to the bone and priced to sell too. During Fairway Ford Truck Month, save thousands and drive away a new 93 Escort LX, equipped with 5-speed, air conditioning, AM/FM cassette, power steering, and more for just $93.93. It's not a Ford truck, but it's built every bit as tough as one. Get yours today for just $93.93 during Truck Month at Fairway Ford on the Motor Mile in Greenville.
Well, there's been an Elvis sighting tonight in Greenville.
Wow, 4 of them, in fact, flying high in the sky. Way to go, guys. They're the Flying Elvises traveling the country after gaining fame on the silver screen in Honeymoon in Vegas. Tonight, they headed to one of the upstate's new movie theaters to kick things off right in style in Greenville. Their white costumes lit up the night as they parachuted on down, thrilling the crowd below. We're told thousands of folks were there. Look at them all. Wow. And you thought Elvis's swiveling hips were something to see, folks. Look at that.
I wonder if those guys get in the door of the plane and go, 1 for the money, 2 for the show. Then they get a push.
I've been all shook up, and then they're out of there.
Hunka flying Elvis.
Oh, this could go on all night. Let's get some weather.
I just wonder how they keep those rugs on when they jump out of that plane. In the morning, that is. Partly cloudy first thing, 38 to 42 degrees. Not really a little milder than today. It'll be 60 to 66 tomorrow. But the cool down will be the weekend, I promise.
Boy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a little more fun now. Some computer fun. You're on a team trying to get the eggs of the Loch Ness Monster. Now, there's a capsule shaped like a submarine that was invented by a computer company based in Utah. You get inside that capsule with 5 other people, and together you work as a team to get to the monster's eggs. If you don't, she or someone else may destroy them. The lifelike computer animation cost the company a measly $500,000. Boy, don't let your kids see that one before Christmas shopping begins.
Yeah, really.
The ultimate video game. Wow,
Neat.
wait, doesn't that look lifelike? Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Eyewitness News Night Watch. But before we go, we take you to the Royal Lipizzan Stallion Show.
That's right. The stallions are said to be horses of nobility dating back to the 16th century. They performed acrobatic maneuvers tonight at Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium. They'll be at the Anderson Civic Center tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and they'll be on Eyewitness News at 6 again with a good long look. Enjoy this look for now. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.